Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Okay, this is for all signs, okay, all signs, and the reason I'm doing this, and it is to do with love, and it's to help to help us to move on to the next chapter spiritually. And I've really given this a lot of thought here because I've had questions from some of my viewers saying, can you cover you know, this filtering, this covert narcissism further, because I do mention this quite a lot in my readings. And I have to say, you know, we do live on planet Earth, and I know I say that in my readings, but I'm going to explain why we live on planet Earth. Don't switch off now because it does get a bit more interesting than that. Okay, it's not easy to live on planet Earth, you know, in this in 2018. And don't switch off yet because I'm not going to go down that road. Okay, I think you're going to be quite surprised and in how you're going to feel more enlightened after this kind of reading, the spiritual message that I'm giving to you here. Okay, so it's a spiritual message, intuitive. You see, I do deal with intuitive you know, consultations, intuitive readings, as you know. So if you know me, you know that. Okay, now I do deal with quite close to the bone issues. So this here, what I'm going to cover here, is very close to the bone. It's not clouds in the sky, it's not unicorns, it deals with life on planet Earth, and you know, dodging the bullets when it comes to love, and also you know, filtering people, which is not easy to do, especially when you're dealing with a covert narcissist. Okay, now I'm going to cover covert narcissism here in this on this video, because I feel it's important, because you know, you can't, it's the sort of person you cannot filter at the beginning, and it takes a while for that kind of mask to drop. And this is what I get a lot of this in with my clients, you know, being kind of not understanding this. Okay, so although I say filter, and it's always better to filter in this life, it's not always easy when you're dealing with people like this. You know, the world is full of good people, but the world is also full of not so good people, and that's what we have to be careful of. And I'm going to help you try to divert you down this path of awareness, and the more aware you are, the more you can look for these signs. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, I've got to wear my stupid glasses because I cannot see a thing, and I've put, you know, I've really put a lot of hard work into this. So I've sat for hours kind of reflecting and trying to work out, you know, on this next chapter. I hope that we're going on to this next chapter in, you know, in the next couple of months or so, but this is to help you to open that door, freely open that door to the next chapter. Sorry, it's really cold here and I'm getting a bit of a sniffle, so I do apologise about that. Yeah, okay, planet Narc. Okay, we're on planet Narc. Okay, so I'm going to take you on a road of planet Narc and planet covert Narc. So Okay, so this kind of person, oh, where do I start with this? Okay, you know, when you first meet this person, you know, the everything that you imagine a really great guy to be, you know. And I'm taking this right off the bat here without looking at my notes. Sorry, I've got you know, what they do is, if you work with them or if you know them, they will study you intently. Okay, they will watch you, they will study your identity, and they will look for all things that, you know, they'll ask you questions like, you know what, you know, who would be your perfect guy, you know, and put it in like a jokey kind of way. You know what, tell me what you didn't like about your ex, you know, all of this. You know, explain to me, you know, what it is that, you know, you would have liked your ex to be, or your partner, even your partner, your husband, your wife. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to a narcissist if you're married, engaged, attached. They don't care, you know. They want, first of all, that's what they chip away at, to find out what you see, what you kind of imagine your perfect man to be. Okay, and then over time they will kind of put that in their, you know, top pocket. Okay, she likes that, she likes this, and yeah, and taking note of everything. They study you. It's like you are a study to them. You are a case, you know, a case load here, and they study your case, you know, and this is what they do. They be the perfect, you know, they've got this to an art form, and this is their art. Okay, when you're dealing with a covert narcissist, this is their art. This is their art. They treat it like an art form, and they think that they're so unique and they're so clever at being able to do this. They feel the rest of the world are nowhere near to their kind of level of this capability of able to dissect someone and find out deep down their actual fears. Okay, because the next thing they will look for is your vulnerabilities and your fears. You may say to them, oh, you know what, this person, he cheated on me, he beats me up, he slapped me, and you know, and it was terrible. I've never got over that, and I've tried therapy, and they dig so deep to get to your inner kind of fear and vulnerability. Okay, and then they can write that down in their notebook, because they can use that later. They can use that vulnerability. Okay, that person was left homeless on the streets with 2 kids. I will put that on my notebook here, because I can use that at a later date. Okay, when it comes to the discarding. Okay, so yeah, so this is like an art form to them. I mean, a normal person wouldn't dream of this. They'd just go on a date and it'd be like, you know, getting to know each other, having fun. But this person is a chameleon. They pretend to be a normal person. They will pretend to be authentic, normal, because they've got this down to you know, to a fine tuning art form. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't, because this is crazy. It's crazy. It's La La Land, this. It's La La Land, okay. But this is Planet Narc, okay. So there you are. This person is presenting themselves to you because they've studied you. They've watched every move you've made. They've looked at every kind. They've put in a lot They're putting a lot of energy, a lot of investment in you to for you to be their next kind of target, their subject. Okay, so the next thing is you suddenly hear that they treat you like you're a queen. They will treat you like you're a queen. You know, everything that you do, they will pander to you. They will make sure they've got, you know, oh, I could just do with, oh, you could just do with a cup of tea, could you? And they'll hand you a cup of tea before you think, oh my God, that person's actually doing things before I've even asked. And you will do something and you'll reach for it, and they will do it before you get there and say, is this what you wanted? The reason they're doing that is because they've studied you. They've studied you so intently, like a PhD in the form of this art. Okay, so you're thinking, wow, this is my soulmate. This person, you know, knows what kind of flavoured ice cream that I like, knows how I like my sandwiches, how I like my burgers, well done, or knows everything about me. But you don't realise that you've already told this person that everything. You've told them everything. If you look back and, you know, this person's been a shoulder to cry on, you know, and you kind of unconsciously have been telling things from your kind of unconscious feelings without realising you've told them everything about you. So there you are. They then put this into practice. Okay, they put this into practice, they do everything for you, then they start to cry. You know, they start to put on this crocodile, a guy crying. Okay, and you're thinking, okay, why are you crying? And you know, you've never seen a guy sob their heart out before, and what he's trying to do is reel you in, because, you know, they're trying to show that they've got such deep emotions, like you know, like you've shown, like you've kind of, they've realised what it is that you want, and they'll suddenly, I'm getting a woman here that likes a sensitive guy. Okay, so they put on the crocodile tears. And it's like, oh my God, my wife has left me, and you know, I was sat on the sofa last night and she just clonked me over the head. I know that sounds funny, but it is funny. Clonked me over the head with you know, whatever kitchenware or rolling pin, and I was just sitting there watching my you know, I was just sitting there watching the Formula One, and she just came over and slapped me right over the head for no particular reason. And oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, you know, she's obviously got these trust issues that she can't deal with, and she's, you know, she's taking it out on me, and I don't know how to deal with it. Every day I put up with this. So then you're thinking, okay, trying to kind of, because you're a normal person, you're trying to soothe that. Okay, and you're trying to say, oh, I'm sorry, and how could she do that? You're such a nice guy, you know, you're such a lovely guy. I don't understand how could she do that to you? What I've seen of you, you can't do enough for people. You're so kind, you're so loving, you're so you know, you have such a big heart. I don't understand why that person would do that. And this is what this person wants you to think. They want you to think this. Okay, they want you to think this. So underneath them, they're going, underneath all of this, they're going, I've got her. I've got her. I've used my partner as like a leverage. And that's what they're thinking. If they've got a partner, if not, you know, and then that's where the love bombing comes in, you know. So yeah, and then they really work hard here in kind of grooming you in this situation. And they're absolute genius at this, by the way. I can't express this more, that this person is a genius at doing this. And you're thinking, well, why are they doing this? why are they doing this? You know, why are they doing this? Why are they pretending to be someone they're not with this mask on? What is the core thing here? Why do they go out to seek victims like this? And I have to say that this person had some kind of toxic environment when they were a child, you know, in childhood, and I have done a lot of research on this, and it's the opposite sex that they punish, okay, for this. So it's the opposite sex, it's the mother that did not, you know, they could be tugging at the apron strings, and the mother would go, get off, leave me alone, and be quite nasty about it, because the mother also did not know how to be compassionate or empathic. So you know, you could have a little boy of 3 years old tugging at the mum's apron, and you know, and she's got other children to deal with that are younger maybe, and demanding. So the mother may say, get off, leave me alone, will you stop doing that, and kind of not giving that child the attention that this child craves. You know, please give me attention, please give me attention. So, you know, it could be the other way around as well. If it's a female, the female may, you know, had a father like this, you know, and they just want to crave attention. They'll act like a clown and all this to get the attention, and they'll do whatever they can. They'll pretend to be someone they're not, you know. They will put on something else. They'll put on this other mask and pretend to be this great person just to get the attention, and they learn that they have to go that extra mile to get attention. You know, like mummy likes to have their tea made, and if I make a cup of tea and take that to her, or make her toast and take it to bed to her, I'm going to be given attention just for that moment, you know. So a little 5-6 year old will attempt to make some toast and some tea and take it up to mummy, and mummy goes, you know, oh, you know, because the mum's getting the mother is getting the attention then, and she's going, oh, that's so lovely, how lovely of you, you know. But the next hour, this person, you know, it could be not long after that, the person will be told to get out, go away, and don't bother me, you know. Stay out of my way, don't bother me, that kind of a mother. So, I mean, this can start right from birth, okay. You know, the child can be crying away in the pram and just left to cry, and the mother just puts earplugs in or something like that. It's abuse, really. It's abuse, and you know, and this is where you could feel sorry for the narcissist, but the thing is that they're not fixable. They're not fixable unless they're borderline. They're fixable, but if they're full blown, they're not fixable. Okay, so this is where it stems from: getting the attention, the adoration, the attention, the applause. You know, you know, you're the greatest child ever. You know, you're the best child ever. You know, you're so well behaved. You know, and all of this, and getting this attention fully focused on them. So this is where this stems from, and you know, and this kind of grooming thing at the beginning, it seems a little bit far-fetched, but they fine-tune this since a child. They know that they have to work harder to get attention. So when you meet a guy like this and he's working harder to get your attention, and he's working so hard for you to be happy, and all of this, and doing everything for you, and it's like carrying the shopping for you, thinking, crikey, how are they managing to carry all that shopping? They won't let me carry it, but I'll let them carry it, okay. And you know, and you're watching them go, you know, far beyond what any other boyfriend has done for you, or any other person or husband. Your husband won't do these things, and this is where also they become genius at. They find out what your husband won't do for you, and they will do it for you. They don't care. They don't have boundaries. They don't have boundaries, these kind of people. And also they don't have boundaries, especially if they've had some kind of weird upbringing, like maybe some incest, sexual kind of abuse, or some kind of, sex was open. Maybe the parents walked around naked, and the child saw that there was no boundaries. No boundaries. The father, the mother was hypersexualized, or the father was hypersexual pervert or something, and walking around naked, making sure the children saw them naked. All of this, okay, it's abuse, really, abuse. So as they were growing up, this child was desperate, so desperate, and starved of attention, and these parents would have objectified them and ignored them, ignored them, not give them love or support, an objective, like they were just an object for when they go out with friends and family, that they've got this cute little kid, and it's, oh, look at your little kid, it's so cute, and it makes them look good, it makes them look good. But when behind the closed doors, it's a different situation. They treat them, horribly, and this is where they learn this. Okay, so this person grows up knowing that, and feels resentment for this too, resents this abuse, and grows up resenting this. So what they do is resent other people, strangers like you, who's trying to have a relationship with this covert narcissist. Deep down, this person resents that you've had a wonderful upbringing, that you've been to university, that you've got your PhD, that you've got your master's degree, and you've worked yourself very hard up the ladder. And this person, although at first they'll say, wow, that's just so big, and wow, I'm proud of you. You've done so well. They may be like this at first, and then you're thinking, gosh, because they picked up that you've maybe said, oh, my parents didn't support me, I had to work myself up the ladder by myself, I had to, okay, maybe my parents were good to me as a child, but I worked so hard, and I don't get the praise, I don't get my parents saying, well done, you've done so well there, and all of that. So this covert narcissist picks this up, writes it in his notebook, and uses that at a later date. Okay, so it's a it's constant, constantly requiring validation that they didn't get, validating their ego, which they didn't get as a child. Okay, that was that big chunk there was missing. So when somebody's not validated as a child and pushed away like this, not kind of given any attention, then this then produces somebody without an identity, okay, and a huge void to fill, because that ego and that void should have been filled by the mother, the father here, but this was missing. Okay, they was denied this, so they've got this empty shell, and this empty shell is their identity. So the way they've they've operated like a robot, really, to get their needs met, and they put on these different masks like the clown and all of this to get the attention from the parents, and when they've done this, they get their attention. So they've learned to actually work very hard to get validation and attention. And so they grow up in an adult life, you know, still kind of, it's that little boy or that little girl still looking for that attention, and you know, any kind of attention, good or bad, they will seek out. Okay, so yeah, so this is very tragic because we're dealing with somebody who's, you know, who's kind of broken, who, yeah, a normal person with a normal loving parents, even if they just had a mediocre kind of parents that you know, that kind of were tired all the time because they were working, but they still gave their children affection. You know, the child still felt validated and felt, you know, loved, you know, that feeling of feeling loved, you know, and that cozy feeling of feeling loved. So that's the normal person. So as you grow older, you don't go out there seeking for validation from everyone around you and having to put masks on to show that you can do this, you know, show that you are this person, you are this genuine person, you are worthy of this attention. So you don't grow up like that. You grow up because you've had this really snuggy kind of, you know, your parents cuddled you from a baby, gave you lots of kisses and told you that they loved you and adored you and and all of this, and you don't have this. You don't have this hollow shell inside. You don't have it. You're fulfilled, so you don't have to. You don't feel the need to look around for people to fill that need, fill that void for you, that's missing from your identity. So yeah, this is a big topic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this in half. This is part 1 and I'm going to do part 2. Okay, so stick with me. We'll get to the root of this and how you can turn a chapter and turn a corner with this. Okay, so yeah, I have to say, covert narcissists, if they are fully blown narcissists, covert narcissists, or higher up in the spectrum, these people are not human. Okay, they're not human. They're like an android. They're walking around not like a telephone, like a robot without any kind of an empty shell. Okay, so these kind of people walk around, you know, planet Earth here, feeling resentment because they didn't get their needs fulfilled as a child. They do it unconsciously. It's not conscious. They don't walk about consciously saying, I didn't get fulfilled as a child, please fulfill me. No, that it's all unconscious. They do it, you know, it's just automatic. They do it without thinking, that kind of thing. So yeah, they're not human, and sadly to say, they know they're not human. They know that they're broken, and they know they have to put on these different masks, you know, a mask for work, a mask for extended family, a mask for friends, and then a mask for when they're at home, or if they're at home they may drop the mask, okay, and be this tyrant within the home. So all of these things here, they don't have empathy, they don't have compassion. They may look as if they've got empathy, they may put a mask of empathy on and a mask of compassion, but in reality they don't possess that because they've never been given that. They've never been given support, compassion, or you know, or kind of validated. So they don't feel that for anybody else because they've never received that. They don't feel it. Actually feel resentment because they never, you know, they're looking at other people as normal, and they know they're not normal. They know they're not normal. And yet they can't do anything about it. They can't change it. So they see all these normal people around them and they're stood there having to pick it's hard work for them. It's exhausting for them too. Yeah, it's a mental illness. It's mental disability. Okay. And they're searching. Every day is hard work for them. They're searching for the next mask to put on. Which one should I wear today? Okay, going into work, there's this gorgeous girl there that's normal, and I want to extract from her all of the adoration and attention that my mummy didn't give me when I was 5. Okay, so I'm going to wear that mask today. I'm going to really extract that from that person. Okay, so actually, if they're kind of a fully blown kind of narcissist, there's no hope, I'm afraid. There's no hope. They cannot be healed. They cannot be given a transplant for that. You know, that's missing, that whole big shell there. They're an empty shell. There's nothing that can fill that shell. There's no transplant. There's no healing. So, you know, and this wound goes so deep that nobody can cure this. It's really sad. It is sad. But the other side of the coin of this is how they kind of feel resentment towards anybody that's does have compassion, does have, and that's who they target, is very kind of deeply caring people like nurses. Like deeply caring people that have a lot of compassion and empathy, who are sensitive. Sensitivity is a big one. They choose people who they perceive to be very sensitive, who they perceive to you know, have a lot of caring empathy, that they can just pour that, you know, nothing can replace that kind of they're looking for that kind of supply, that nothing else can replace that pouring of this empathy. This person is just, you know, a vessel of empathy, and that's an empath, by the way. That's an empath. If you're wondering what an empath is, that's an empath. So yeah, these people are neurotic. They do objectify people. They also play that game as well, and it's toxic. They become toxic people. You know, they also play that game of coming on full on, and you know, drawing you in and then backing off. You know, that kind of game. And when you see that game, that is like either borderline narcissist, or it's what they're doing is teasing you with attention, and that's the sort of game his mother would have played with him, or his father would have shown him a bit of love and then backed off. So they do it in adulthood. Okay, they're a lost cause, and these are the red flags you need to be looking for. Sorry about my hair, I'm waiting for my fringe to get longer but it just won't get long enough. They're waiting for that. They're waiting for that best supply they can get. Okay, and they didn't have intimacy as a child, so they don't know what intimacy is. I haven't got a clue of what intimacy is, because there wasn't showed this love, this boundary of this is loving, this is a parental love. Look, this is parental love. It may have been twisted by incest or child abuse, and they were walking around naked and things like this, and there were no boundaries, so they didn't know what intimacy was. They were confused about what intimacy is. Okay. So very wounded, a template that's very wounded, neurotic, and it's unconscious. It's an unconscious drive to gain adoration and attention from everyone. Okay, it's a ferocious drive to, I will do anything here. I will lie. I will pillage. I will, you know, cheat. I will do anything to get that adoration, you know, to feed my ego. So and it's unconscious because it's so deep. Okay, so they've perfected this as an art. It's an art form to them. It's, you know, they're a genius at this. You know, they're a genius. But there's no intimacy. There's no inner core. There's no identity. You know, they're broken like a robot. And they're addicted. Like I said, they've got this drive for this adoration and attention, and they're addicted to your response. They're addicted. This drive of addiction, like I've got to get my fix here. I've got to get my, you know, they're driven by this addiction of adoration and attention. Okay, so it's more than a need. It's actually an addiction. And they will lie. They will triangulate people. You know, we're talking about a future partner here, but one day I will do one of these for if it's a family member that's like this. Okay, triangulates, you know, siblings and all of that, just to get the attention. This person is addicted to your response. Okay, and they actually study this. Study how to be the best lover. Study how to, you know, how to be the best in bed. They will study this. They will look on YouTube, online, anything that comes up with material research. They will research this. How to be the best lover. How to give the best orgasm. How to treat a woman, how they want to be treated. I mean, yeah, if you're a normal guy and you want to learn about these things, that's great, because you're looking for a real kind of relationship. But when somebody here is narcissistic and they're covert, this is dangerous. Okay, all this material on social media, they will use this as a way to, they become like they've got this PhD in how to seduce somebody and how to, you know, pull people in and fall in love with you. They study this, you know, the whole thing, and it's nuts. It's crazy. It's crazy. And yeah, they deliberately train themselves to be great, to be the best person, the best lover, the best husband, the best boyfriend. And they do this. Do you know why they do this? Because they want to destroy something in a woman. They want to destroy something in a woman, and this is where it becomes very disturbing. Okay. They want to destroy something here. They want to destroy the normal guy that you would go and date, who is fumbling around and, you know, we'll get there in the end kind of thing. It's crazy this, but we'll get there. And I know it's, you know, and in the end you love each other and you make love, and it's wonderful. This guy tries to destroy that. And this is where it becomes sick. Okay, they know that you're married, they know that you're in a relationship, they know, but they want to be, they want to get, you know, they're hooked on your attention, they're hooked on your response. Okay, so this is where this goes sick and deep, because they deliberately train themselves here to destroy a woman, to ruin it for other men here. That's what they do. So that's their aim, is to ruin it for other guys. You know, they think they're unique. You know, I'm unique. You'll never meet anybody like me. What I'm trying to do here is make you addicted to me, the way that I you know, I've studied this like it's a PhD. And I know every nook and cranny, the way to look at you, the way to draw you in. Okay, the way to you know, to I know guys or women that don't bother with foreplay, but I do bother with foreplay, and I'll spend hours and hours on foreplay, and after that I will make love to you like you know, it's going to blow your mind. So this is what this guy is like. And I know you're thinking, Yvonne, this is crazy, but it is crazy. It is crazy, okay? They want you to become addicted to them, so you keep coming back. And this is what this is. It's narcissistic supply. A narcissistic supply is lots and lots of, they like to have multiple people like this, who they feel that they're kind of unique. You know, you're never going to meet anybody who's as good, attentive and loving as I am to you, because I'm going to blow your mind, okay? And this is where I'm going to stop here for this one. I'm going to go on to part 2, and I will go into the sexual side of this in part 2 if you're interested in that, and come to a conclusion here. And then after, you know, at the end of part 2, I will do a reading for all of us here to move on to the next chapter, okay? And I'm going to use oracle cards, this is very spiritual, and I'm doing this because I'm trying to divert my viewers away from people like this to be able to get a fulfilling life, okay? So join me for part 2, and we will continue. I'm going to go on to the sexual side here next, okay? See you in part 2.